So if your quads are your stopping muscles, the muscles that are going to help you decelerate or slam the brakes on, then your hamstrings and glutes are your go muscles, or the posterior chain. What I'm going to show you now is a great alternative if you don't have access to some deadlifting options, or perhaps you're limited and you don't have the space or the facilities to be sprinting at the moment. So these hamstring sliders are going to come in 3 levels of difficulty. The first level is going to be 2 legs to 2 legs. The key thing here is to make sure that we don't break at the hip. So I'll show you level 1 now. So all you need is a towel or something that's going to slide, and of course a floor that's conducive to letting you do that. You're going to start the movement with hands facing up, and you're going to push your hips as tall as you can. From here you're going to squeeze your glutes tight, and you're going to extend your feet, keeping a straight body line between your shoulders and your knees. So here I'm putting the brakes on to maintain that straight line for as long as possible. So even when I'm here, I'm going to pull back hard, restore my hip height, and where you're going to feel this, it should be around the back of the knee. So I'm extending my legs, stopping myself just falling to the floor, and then pulling back and keeping my hips nice and tall. So the key with this double leg hamstring slider is to make sure that you're keeping your hips as high as possible for as long as possible. So that's level 1. We're now going to look at level 2, which is what I call a 1 out and 2 back hamstring slider. So what you're doing with this variation is you're making it harder on the way down, so the eccentric phase, or indeed the lowering phase, and you're pulling back on 2 feet. This can sometimes be a bit tricky in terms of logistics, in terms of getting 2 feet on to pull back. So if it feels a bit stop-start, bear with it. So what you're going to do is have 2 feet on to begin with, but then you're going to nominate which foot is going to do most of the work. So I come tall on 2, I'm going to take my other leg away, and I'm just going to keep my hips as high as I can for as long as I can. When I get to this end position, put both feet on, squeeze my bum at the top, and bring my hips nice and tall. I'll just show you on the other leg, just so you can see for frame of reference. So I'm coming out slowly with this leg, staying as tall as I can for as long as I can, and then popping both feet down. Now, if these are unfamiliar to you, then you will definitely start to be having a conversation with the hamstring attachment at the back of your knee. That's perfectly fine. I would go low volume on these to begin with, as the soreness can be something quite unique if you've never experienced it. The final progression is, of course, 1 leg out and 1 leg back. If you manage the 1 leg out, 1 leg back version, and you manage to get into that long position without breaking at the hips, so collapsing to the floor, then you might be ready to start some Nordic progressions, but that's for a different video. So for 1 leg, I'm just going to shuffle over. So nice and tall, nominate which leg is going to go out and come back. Again, staying as tall as I can for as long as I can, and then pulling back on that leg. Now I'm just going to shift over so you can get a full view of that. So again, tall on 2 legs, nominate which leg's going out, nice and tall, and then pull back. So that is 3 levels of the hamstring slider. You've got level 1, which is 2 feet out, 2 feet back. Level 2, which is 1 foot out, 2 feet back. And level 3, which is 1 leg out, 1 leg back. If you get to level 3 and you can comfortably string a few reps of those together on both sides, then you might be ready for some progressions towards the Nordic. Again, go easy with these ones if it's the first time you've done them, because if you go too hard too soon and smash a load of volume with these, then the back of your knee or the hamstring muscle around the back of your knee will want to chat to you the next day. That is the hamstring slider.